Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Tonight I am here to read your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started, Gemini. Okay, and so our card is the Four of Cups, which has everything to do with luxury in your life. Luxury in your emotional sectors, in your spiritual life, in your relationships, and so on. All right. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so I feel like this is a time where connection with friends, family, really important. There just seems to be this real draw for you to being among the people that make you feel, able to be yourself, to express yourself, to be fun and silly and real, and to cry and let it all out and so on. I'm just seeing this collection of people and most sitting, right? Here we have somebody standing. And we have these three sitting. And this person looks like they are standing, but also I almost get the sense of fishing. Right? Going fishing. So I feel that there is this strong bond with your community, your chosen community, family, friends, so on. Everybody at ease with one another. We have these sitting positions, which seems to me is a place of ease, right? To relax, to have some little moments of leisure. And I feel like this is something that has been most needed to kind of return to a place that feels kind of like it's in its own little bubble, right? The outside world is not going to affect the way that we come together and express our love and our enjoyment and our closeness and so on, okay? Now, that being said, there is also this driving force of, trying to make some money, okay? I think this is the other current in your life is paying the bills, stacking some coins, right? Now we have the pond. We have the person who is fishing. So it tells me that you are really active in the work that you're doing, right? Highly focused. So I do wonder if there's an opportunity here to be doing some kind of work or business with the family or friends or people close to you. I do feel like, and I'm thinking, is it like a family business, or is this that they're helping kind of fund a new business that you're starting, or helping you be able to work more even, right? Maybe in a situation where you have children, childcare is really expensive, family is helping, mind the children while you're working. Something like this, especially if you have kids and it's summer, right? We all know how you know, I'm not going to say childcare is unreliable because that's not true. But yeah, things change, right? Things change. People can't, daycares are closed, or the people are sick, or, you know, whatever. Okay. Not always 100%. But the family, I think, you know, this could be, if you are in that kind of situation where you have a child or a dependent that has to be watched over, yeah, I could see your family stepping in. Okay, so that is such a blessing. Now, we also have some fish down here. So I feel like this is really, yeah, going to work out for you. Especially if this is something that you're feeling unsure about, right? Feeling like, oh, maybe things have slowed down a little bit, or maybe I don't know if I should really be starting this project, this thing, trying to monetize something that maybe you create. You're starting some kind of store, or, you know, whatever it is. Maybe you're starting a YouTube channel, you know? Yeah. It takes work though, you know, all of these things. And yeah, there are going to be trials and tribulations, but I feel like you are aligned in such a way that this could be that big break that you are looking for in your life. Not only monetarily, which it does show, yeah, there's going to be some money coming in, but to feed your soul, right? Doing something that is meaningful to you. Doing something that feels worthwhile, that you're spending time with, right? Sometimes our day jobs can provide that fulfillment. Sometimes not, right? Sometimes it doesn't get to that place where it feels of great value to your life. Now, of course, yeah, we all have to work these kinds of jobs. That's just part of how it is to be. To be a human in the world we live in. Yeah, we have to do jobs we don't want to do. It'd be like that, right? But then there are opportunities, there are little moments in our life where everything aligns in such a way that, yeah, maybe we can try doing our side hustle, having a second, stream of revenue coming in. Okay, so I think that this could be a place where you are, yeah, really applying yourself. Now, it might not be that you are starting a business, right? This might be that you are taking on a second job, or, really investing your time into furthering the career that you already have. Okay, whatever it is, it feels like you have people who are supporting you. And that is everything. It is hard to have a life, especially if you have kids or you're helping raise grandkids or whatever, and there's no support. It's a lot, right? And so I think that this is a huge blessing. Okay, a huge blessing indeed. Now, let's go ahead. Okay, so I'm seeing so much stuff with family, kids. We have a woman who looks like they are pregnant, okay? Or a person that looks like they are pregnant, I should say. Now, we also have a horse here. We have a horse here. We have a And if we turn it, it looks like a person holding a child. Now we also have a person holding a child here. Here it looks like we have a person who is kind of almost, if I get the image of kind of floating through the sky, right? Holding, it looks like, in my mind, like a handkerchief or something. And then right here, we have somebody who is meditating in this posture. The people who meditate with their knees bent, right? They're like kneeling kind of. I don't know how you do it. Oh my goodness. When I see people who are praying for long periods of time like this, or they're meditating or whatever, I don't know how. My knees hurt just thinking about it. But yeah. So anyways, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, yeah, this is a very devout posture. Okay, so I feel like there's just a sense of kind of this, almost a back and forth, right? Almost like this sense of, well, and I'm just going to say it. Yeah, having difficulty getting into the role of maybe parent, caretaker, grandparent. At times it had felt almost like losing self, right? A sense of your own being. Being really torn between the beauty, the majesty it is to take care of somebody, to watch somebody grow as a being, to evolve, right? And all while trying to do that yourself, but feeling, yeah, often exhausted, tired, lost in everybody else's needs. You know, not really prioritizing your own things, your own need for personal time and self-interest and you know, spiritual work and everything else, self-care in general, right? But I think also not necessarily vacillating, but having different modes of gratitude, belovedness, devotion to this family life, to this life of sharing with other beings, especially with the children of the family of your maybe, you know, and it doesn't have to be that you're a parent, but taking care of others in some way, right? Giving a lot of yourself, a lot of your energies to that. Now, I think this is something that's talked about more and more. It's not as stigmatized, but we're coming out of a long, long history of, yeah, you're not allowed to really complain about how hard it is to give yourself over to taking care of others, to raising children, to taking care of your parents who are aging, or, you know, family members, or, you know, or being in a career where, yeah, you are a caretaker, you are maybe in the medical field, a teacher, somebody who, I don't know what they're called in different places, but somebody that comes in and takes care of people within their home, like a nurse or a here I think they're called like PCAs or something. But you know, you go into a private home and you care for people so that they can stay living in their home. But you know, we don't often, or at least previous to now, right? You couldn't really complain so much about how hard things are. People don't want to hear it, or they didn't. But now I think there's a lot more dialogue about how it affects the individual to give so much of themselves. And I think that's a good thing, because So often caretakers become so isolated, lonely, forgotten, right? Forgotten by the other family members, forgotten by their communities, even their own families. You know, if you're somebody that's going and taking care of like an elderly parent and they're still living in their home, you're taking care of them, cleaning, you know, grocery shopping, maybe even staying the night often so that they, you know, are safe or if they need something. And then at home, your family is going on with their life, right? Not because they don't care about you, but yeah, you're not there. And that is difficult. So I look at this and I feel there's like a lot of kind of turmoil in places. This tugging at your heart because you love to be able to be there, but you also feel lost in it all sometimes. And maybe even at times somewhat angry about this, frustrated about it. Hopefully not resentful, but that can happen. Absolutely. So I also look at this and I think, you know, please make sure that you are giving yourself time. It is as important as taking care of other people. The burnout is so real and it's devastating. And I know that you've probably been there. So make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do for you. And that's where I see this up here. This person meditating, communing with the divine. Now, a busy person who has no, you know, kind of background in this kind of work, they might think, well, you know, so-and-so wastes so much time. They go and they meditate, you know, twice a day or go and contemplate, sit and contemplate, whatever that looks like. For me, I like to stare out the window. I like to look at the trees and I get into these places of vision and contemplation. Now, to anybody else, they might think, well, Lenor is just being selfish with her time. She's being lazy. She's sitting there. She's staring out the window, doing nothing. But that's not the truth, is it? We need these times for ourselves so that we can fortify, right? That's what it comes down to. It is a fortification of mind, body, spirit. You cannot give from an empty pail, right? Everybody's thirsty. Everybody needs water, but the water is gone because you've given everything already. No, we need to keep filling ourselves. We need to be able to have time to not be doing something. At least something for somebody else or for the world, for the greater thing. Yeah, sometimes we do. We need to just be there staring out the window, feeling the impressions of the world, letting the imagery come through, contemplating God, goddess, divinity, whatever. Maybe it's even just taking a bath. Maybe it's cutting your toenails. You know, whatever it is. Having a silent bowl of oatmeal before everybody else wakes up. So I see this and I hear you and I feel you, Gemini. And I plead with you. I plead with you. Please make sure that you are giving yourself some time. And maybe, you know, in this time where, yeah, you're working, you're fishing, you're trying to get that money. But you have some support here. So make sure you are taking part of that day where you are hustling and making sure that you are recharging. You are giving yourself some time. I don't care what you're doing. If you're sitting in your car, in a parking lot, in a gas station, eating a, I don't know, some kind of candy bar, whatever, a piece of fruit. Yeah, if that time's for you, please make sure that you're taking it. Okay, let's see. We also have, it looks like we have an eye. And then immediately, I feel like there's somebody with an E name. Somebody with an E. And I keep thinking it's like an ES name. That's very specific. Not a lot of people with ES names, but like, I'm thinking like Esmeralda. I'm like trying to figure out what name that could be. But ES, maybe it's initials. I don't know. But yeah, it feels like a revealing here. Some old thing. Here's the ES. I know somebody told me the other day on the comments. They're like, please put the bowl, the cup up higher. I'm not going to hold it there the whole time. I can't. I have to look at it in different ways for myself, but I'll do my best. I promise. So ES, we have an eye here. Now we also have the illuminating candle. So that tells me there are some revelations. There are some revealings happening. And I feel almost like, and this is like really specific, but like there is an auntie that's married into the family somewhere. Somebody that you really enjoy. They have good energy, right? I almost wonder though if if there's a divorce where they're not around, they're not part of the family really anymore, but you still have a connection with them. Very specific, I know. But I feel like there is something. Yeah, and here we go. So this looks like it's a question mark when we turn it over. So I feel like there's been like something that happened in the family at some point, and maybe it was why this divorce happened, but you never knew why. Nobody knew really. Maybe, I don't know. It was kind of like a secret or just personal or whatever. But I feel like there's a revelation coming here, and it's going to change everything about the dynamic of the family. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever, but it feels like all of a sudden the way that you look at some of these relationships with your extended family, it all kind of clicks and comes into place. But it's kind of like, okay, now I see. And I don't know if I like that or not. Now I think it humanizes people, but it also kind of, I get this feeling that it's almost like all of these like extended further out family members, like on their high horses, always like looking down on people. And then you find out this drama, right? And you're like, this whole time, this stuff has gone on or whatever happened. And you're still trying to pull this, like, we're better than the rest of the family kind of energy. And I feel, as I'm talking, I can feel the annoyance. The audacity. And so, yeah, it does. It feels like, yeah, this is going to be a summer of, or maybe it's a winter. It might be, you know, that you're in the southern hemisphere. Shout out to all of you down south. But yeah, it's going to be one of those seasons where things come out. Oh boy, do they come out. Okay, Gemini, we're going to do our divine door cards. And I'm going to flip on through. I'm going to, oops. We're going to stop there. I almost went one more, but this is the one. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over. It says, nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. Listen, if anybody is a traveler of the world, of the cosmos even, if anybody is getting on one of those spaceships to Mars to go colonize or whatever, it's going to be a Gemini person. You all cannot be held down. You can't be stopped. You have so much motivation to keep going, to keep exploring, to keep seeing things and doing things. And my goodness, I don't know how you all do it, but I applaud you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I love hearing from you. And yeah, all right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in just a few days. Good night.